This is what the eggplant bush looks like right now, and I am gonna get in there and see what we can find under all those leaves. The first thing I'm gonna do this morning is I'm gonna harvest a few eggplants. Let's see what these look like down there. This is the first one I found. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna cut this one and then we're gonna see what else we can find. This is today's eggplant that I picked out of the garden. This is Asian eggplant and it's our preference. It's not bitter and there's not a lot of liquid in it. This is one of my favorite ways to preserve it. I just washed them, put them in the oven, put them in the air fryer actually, but I put them on bake at 400 for about 15 minutes and I pulled them out. And now all I'm gonna do is scrape the insides, and that's what we're gonna keep, the insides. And I'm gonna use this when I make rice dressing or stuffing. I also picked our first cantaloupe out of the garden today. It's quite interesting because they're both ready, but one is like a mini baby and then the other is a larger size. So we're gonna cut these open in a little bit too. They smell so wonderful. I can't wait to have that with dinner tonight. I had taken out a spoon to scrape the inside, and then I didn't even need it because it peeled off really easily. This was the skin, but I needed both hands, so I didn't film it. It just barely pulled and the skin very easily came off. Like, I'm gonna pull this extra vein off, but you see how easy that comes off? That's how easy the skin came off. We're gonna have this one fresh. I'm gonna keep this one out so I can season it. I'm gonna put them up in packs of 2. It doesn't take much for what I use it for, so I'm gonna go ahead and make 4 little pouches and I'm gonna vacuum seal them and put them in the freezer. I thought I was gonna vacuum seal them, but there's really no need. I'm just gonna put them in quart-size Ziploc bags. The chickens are gonna get this, and then today's eggplant has been preserved. 4 packs of eggplant ready for the freezer. So I took the one eggplant that I decided we were gonna eat fresh and I added it to half and half, ground bison and ground pork. I'm gonna mix this up a little bit more and then I'm gonna add rice and I'm gonna make a dressing with some fresh parsley and green onions and garlic. Now this has been heavily seasoned with my homemade Cajun seasoning. As you can see the eggplant, it looks kind of like spaghetti squash. You just blend it all in. I added 2 cups of cooked rice, and now I'm gonna add a little bit of red pepper for color. This is fresh from the garden. I'm gonna mix this up and then I will garnish with fresh parsley and green onions. Give it a stir, and you have homemade dressing. I also pan fried some fresh zucchini, and this just has a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic, and chili flakes. This also makes a delicious stuffing for stuffed peppers. Tonight's dinner, mostly fresh from the garden. Cantaloupe from the garden, zucchini from the garden, tomatoes from the garden, and eggplant dressing, which the eggplant was from the garden. Wonderful, nutritious blessings from the Lord. Thank you, Lord, for this nutrition.